it's not morning. It's getting to be pretty late in the afternoon right now for me, actually. I was talking with some friends about the topic of luxury and fake luxury. And this sort of like came up in conversation. I was like, oh, I should do a video about that because it's kind of a funny story. So, let's get into it. To start all the way from the beginning, so in 2021, I had been saving up, but I realized that I was saving without a goal to do anything with that money. Like, my goal then and my goal now is still to move, but at the time, I wasn't making enough money to where moving would be sustainable for me. And like, still the case. Love it here in this very overpriced city I live in. But that's aside the point. So so that was my goal, but at the same time I was like, I'm not making enough money. So even if I save and save and save, unless I start making more, I can't be paying rent month after month after month. Eventually the money's just going to run out. So I put that on the back burner. And I was just still continually saving, but I wasn't saving for anything. So I said to myself, what can I do with this money that I'm saving where it can be something that's serving me instead of just saving for the sake of saving? So that was when I started taking driver's lessons, and I decided to go on a 5-day solo trip to New York City for my birthday. It was a nice trip. I'm glad that I did that. It was really fun. So I had my budget for my driving lessons and all of that, and the rest of my money I had budgeted for the trip. And I gave myself a lot of spending money, and I didn't end up like bawling out like I had wanted to, but it was fine. I mostly just went to museums. But one of those days I was like, okay, I'm going shopping. And I took the train down to, I don't even know where I set out to go that day, but I was just out in the city. And as I was walking, going from store to store, bouncing around, just looking for something to buy somewhere, I ended up on Canal Street. So I was just walking and walking, and suddenly I started seeing street vendors with like sheets laid out, or like tables, or just blankets on the ground, just covered in like designer purses, designer quote unquote purses. Like, obviously fake. And I was like, oh, I had just walked out of this like like Western like cowboy store that was closing. So I bought a pair of cowboy boots there. And then I step out. I have this giant bag with these boots. And at that point I was like loaded down. So I was like, I'm tired. I want to go home. Like back to the hotel. And then that's when I started seeing like all of these like bags, like watches, rings, etc. But I think it was mostly bags. I don't even remember if I saw shoes or anything. I'm sorry, I keep tangenting. So I was like, okay, I just need to go home. I was like, okay, I just need to go back to the hotel. Let me just see where the train is so I can leave. But I was also like admiring the like atmosphere, because going on Canal Street is actually really fun. It's like ooh, I'm in a movie. It's it's just a nice atmosphere. So I was just admiring the surroundings, looking at things like, and I majored in fashion, so it was also like interesting to me. I wanted to like see the quality of these fakes because they looked nice, and it was just interesting. So I stopped at one, and when the Dior totes came out, I was obsessed with them. The totes and the saddlebags. I was like super obsessed with them, and I really wanted them, but I could not and still cannot justify the price. So I was just like, you will live on forever in my heart. But I saw a Dior tote, and I was like, oh, interesting. And I was not going to buy it. But I'm just like sort of standing still on the street. Like people are going past me, like chatting, whatever. There's movement, but I'm standing still. And obviously the vendor like is noticing me because I'm looking at the stuff. And I was like, hey, can I just see the Dior tote? Because I just wanted to touch it and look at it and like feel it, like what the quality was. Like, did it feel like paper, or like did it feel nice? And he's like, yeah. So he hands it to me, and I'm looking at it, and it's here. This is it. Oh my god. I can't push my seat any further back. But here it is. And there's the back. It has nothing. It came with this little wallet. On the inside, it says Christian Dior, made in Italy. So, and it feels nice. It's a nice weight. There's some kind of like card or like something in here to hold the shape and not in the sides, so it's more floppy on the sides. So I was just looking at it like, oh, admiring it. This part, this like ribbon part here, it's printed on. It's not like an applique like a ribbon would be. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. And as I'm doing this, I look up and I see he pulled out a dust bag and like a plastic bag, like to bag the stuff up. And I was like, oh, I didn't want to buy it. And he's like, like sort of like heckling me because I wasted his time. Not like heckling, but he's like, yeah, come on. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, okay, how much is it? And I don't remember what he said, but it was a large amount of money. Don't quote me, but it could have been over $100. And that had me gagged because I was like, these are fake. What do you mean? I thought it would be like 20 or 30. But I guess that was me being goofy. And I didn't want it anyway. So I was like, no, thank you. No. No. And he was like, buy it. Basically, like, he was not letting me walk away. And I was like, I don't have enough money for it, like straight up. Because I'm a big leave the store without buying it person. Like, it's fine to just leave. I'm a big proponent of just leave. So I was trying to just leave. Like, thank you, no thank you. But when I was like, no, I don't have the money for that, I think the first time I refused, he dropped the price too. But the second time he drops it again. And I was just, I was like, I literally, I don't have the money in my wallet. And I, at some point opened my wallet and pulled out the like two $20 bills that I had. So I opened my wallet and I show him my $40 to be like, I really don't have the money and I don't want to buy it. And he's like making a big show of it, like as if like he thought I was haggling when I was really like, I don't want this. So I was literally just going to walk away because I had handed it back to him and I was like, let me just go. And honestly should have like hustled and run. I opened my wallet and I took out the two $20 bills that I had in there to be like, this is all I have. Thinking that he'd be like, all right, get out of here. But instead he was like, I definitely cannot accept that. But give me the 40 and you can Zelle me $20. And I was like, oh, final boss. I, at that point, was just too embarrassed to leave. Because this interaction had been going on for way longer than I was comfortable with. And every time he talked back to me after I said no, it was like more pressure. So I was just like, okay, you got me. You've acquired my money. So I gave him my money and I Zelled him the rest. And then I got stuck with this bag that I can't wear anywhere because it's so gaudy. And the rest of my clothes are like, this is from COS because I used to work at COS. And the employee discount is fresh. And the rest of my clothes were from like H&M, TJ Maxx, like regular. And I didn't drive at the time, so I was taking the train. I'm not gonna be like on the bus, drip down in morning, drip down morning dew. Not drip so much as drool. With this fake Christian Dior. And when I got home, I told my mom, like, oh, I didn't want to buy it, but he thought I was haggling, so I just had to. And she was like, oh, can I have it? And I was like, yeah, take it. And she was probably saying it as a joke. But I was like, literally take it. I have nothing to do with it. But even she is like, when I go out with this, I feel silly. I can't wear this anywhere. And I'm on the train. Etc., etc. So she uses it, but she puts like documents in it. And it stays in her room. And honestly, that's how I would have used it too. Just like throw my belts in there or whatever. But it is... I would, and I feel like I definitely want to go back down to Canal Street and buy another fake thing just for the experience because it's like fun to do. I don't know if I could actually haggle as well as I was fake haggling. Yeah, if I actually had the intent to buy something, they would probably be like, wow, a sucker's born every minute because I took like the first price. I don't think I have it in me to haggle. I'm shy. Ooh. And it's a nice bag. It would be good for like the beach or like grocery shopping. Like I would use it for that. And it's nice that it comes with the little wallet. This feels flimsy though, out of them all. And oh, it's lined. That's fun. So that's how I accidentally bought a fake bag. Even though I knew it was fake. But I definitely think shopping on Canal Street is a super fun experience. And honestly, even if you don't want to buy anything, just like walk down the street and like look. It's like super fun. Like take selfies. I don't know. Sometimes you go to like markets and people are like, no pictures. It might be like that. So I don't know if you can take selfies. Read the room. And also don't touch anything. Just look with your eyes, not your hands. Okay, that's going to be it for me today. If you like me, tell a friend. If you don't like me, tell an anemone. Don't hurt yourself. Does anyone else remember that line in Finding Nemo? Anyway, if you like me, tell a friend. If you don't like me, tell an enemy. Comment in the comments. Tell me if you ever bought a fake bag from a street vendor and what that experience was like. Hope you like my little story. I was not the best at telling it. Okay, bye. Have a nice day, everyone. Even to like bring this out to my car, just to like have this little chat with you, I put it in another bag to hide it because I was like, this is embarrassing.